Here. Oh, as perhaps more apropos. Hey yo. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. It is March 14th, 2022. I hope you guys are doing all right. I'm Gun. Twitter.com/Gundacker. Is Raj frozen? No, Raj ain't frozen. All right, well, we'll bring Raj here. Look like you were frozen. Joined by Hoodie Raj, who
back in the building.
Back like he never left, except he did leave. It's been literally last Tuesday? Good Lord.
Last Tuesday, yep. I mean, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays tend to be a little more of a struggle these days. Hopefully this Friday I can make it onto a stream.
Yeah, definitely business is picking up when it comes to these big slates. But man, we are out here. What's up, chat? You guys doing all right today? Let me open up the live. Is the chat now working on the thingy? Shout out to Nate, Skimmer, Scott, solid picks. Says Matt Olson to the Bravos. Bing bong.
I know God's crying about that trade with the Yankees. I don't know what they're doing, picking up a 36-7-year-old Donaldson,
who was one of the leaders in hard contact rate last year. Whatever.
That's great. You love to see them doing that, and the Jays picking up some pitching. Even though Kikuchi's
get Kikuchi out of here.
Jays picked up a lot of boomer bust guys. We do have the best pitching coach in the league, so if anyone could make these
when the Jays guy comes at you,
tell you, man.
for picking up Josh Donaldson, Jays wouldn't have been relevant. Yeah.
I'm just saying, our pitching staff is dangerous. We already know what our offense can do, so we're going to see.
I don't think it's that dangerous. But, Matt Olson to the Braves. So, certainly all eyes on Freddie Freeman here. A lot of people had the Dodgers involved now. But, I don't know. I think that move that Cashman made last night, I think he makes moves to make moves. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was it. And I don't know. I wouldn't be stunned if Josh Donaldson didn't start the season in the Yankee uniform. But, it's one of the things that I've accepted. I don't hate the guy. It made no sense. Wasn't on the radar. No one expected it. 50 million, whatever. But, solid third baseman, a little bit of pop in his bat. Just got to stay healthy. Man. What's up to the live chat? I don't know what's going on with the chat. The live chat seems to be not showing up on screen. So, because of that, let's just go to the 2Cam Sam setup here. But shout out to you guys, man. Nate D in the chat, Scott Duran, Skimmer, E made it happen. Mighty Saint out here. Mia Moore, Nate D, Exit Screaming, Underrated World Tall, To God, Obi-Wan, Neville. We got a couple multilingual years in chat, I guess. Obi-Wan out here says Hoodie Raj.
Back in the building.
What up, Shark? Press like. What up, Steve? What up, Mike? Press like. Let's get 120. I think that... Hiccup. I think that's a solid goal. 120 likes for the Rod stream. I can get behind that. Yeah, Raj. We're only 2 weeks away from 3 weeks away from baseball, April 7th. So I'm excited to talk trash and laugh at the Blue Jays slate to slate and their inequities and Kukuche getting blown up and
we win the AL East this year, baby. It's our season.
Kevin Gossman looking more like his Orioles form. It's just gonna be a fun time.
This is the season the Jays dynasty begins. We got the young studs in the on bats, best offense in the league. We got our pitching. It's gonna be a hit. This is the season. I'm thinking three championships in the next 6 to 7 years.
Oh, you fool, you! You fool, you!
Guess what? All my baseball prize bets gonna be loaded with the Jays.
What up, JNY DFS here? What up, Lorenza? Hope you guys are doing all right today, man. So the weekend kind of fun. Yesterday I got into a little bit of NBA. Just had to stack Pelicans and Hawks and go from there. But it was my day off, so I didn't get too crazy with it. We had a lot of big slates over the past week for NBA. It looks like tomorrow's going to be a little bit more modest. So I do have to tweak the schedule for tomorrow because I think it's just 4 games tomorrow. But big slate tonight. Lots of news already impacting this slate. So a lot to chop up. Myself and Josh and Quinn, we just went over a lot on the PrizePicks show preceding this one. So if you guys are looking for some spins on that, be sure to check that out. If nothing else, just go hit that like button. If you're out there lurking now and you've not already done so, man, hit that like button. We are also trying to get to 6K subs. We are less than 300. We're about 308 new subs away from 7K subs. Did I say 6K? I meant 7K. So it's definitely a goal that we might accomplish this month, by the end of this month, if I'm on my grind. And the biggest part of the grind, Raj, you know how many subs I'm leaving out there by not waking my big butt up at 10 in the morning and making some PrizePicks content and stuff like that. It's like that market is so hot right now, but my goodness, is it hard to flip the sleep schedule and get into that. But maybe, just maybe, got a couple deals in the work that might more incentivize getting up, man. Neville keeps bringing up these parachuting spiders, man. I just can't. You say that and it's like so windy that I hear the whistling in my office window or my setup window, and it's just like I wonder if spiders are just flying around in the air right now. Adam Beck says, "Go Jays!" All right, Adam, I liked you. Now I don't hate the Jays. I just hate Raj. So. But
what are you gonna do? I mean, hating greatness is pretty standard because you know why? LeBron James back this weekend, dropping a 50 piece on everyone and first player, 30,000 points, 10K rebounds, 10K assists, the GOAT of GOATs.
How'd they do last night? I missed it.
They got mollywopped.
Oh, they got mollywopped.
But it wasn't LeBron's fault. It wasn't LeBron's fault.
It never is. It never is, right?
I mean, when a guy just does his job every single day and is playing with Westbrook, who's I think I literally have a better jump shot than Westbrook. I ain't even a shooter like that.
I'm not a shooter, but don't test me.
Like Westbrook's jump shot is, I mean, he might get Ben Simmons around for his money.
The disrespect. Chat, let's talk some basketball. This stream brought to you by RunDFS.com. That's the place where we don't just play DFS. We run DFS. If you guys want to get into the spreadsheets, I'll be referencing throughout the duration of the stream. Be sure to go RunDFS.com. Click VIP memberships. Once you upgrade, click VIP portal. You'll see a link to the spreadsheet. You see a link to the Discord. Get in there. That's how you get all the premium perks, the my projections, my player pools, the pre-lock voice chats, and then, hey, there's value in the free stuff too, man. We made a free Discord, launched it 2 weeks ago. Link to that in the description below. You guys are killing it. I talked about them, bragged about them on the PrizePicks show. But man, oh man, he made it happen. He borderline triggered the spam filter, bro. Look at, just nuts with the PrizePicks cards. Huh?
Should we just pop in the free Discord one day? Like how we do the free Discord lock. Maybe one day of the week, do it on the free one. If it's hit a certain amount of likes or something, we'll pop a free one for a day.
Maybe like a late. Well, so my initial thought with the so by the way, like this Discord is linked with the so like the YouTube memberships. So like technically, I have these member only channels for those of you that are YouTube members, and you link your YouTube account with your Discord account. You would get like premium channel access.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it yet. But the initial thought was to do a afternoon not even show, just like, I'm tidying up my spreadsheets, talking some stuff, and have that for sub-onlys and members only on the YouTube channel. But probably a pre-lock voice chat wouldn't go over too well with the RunDFS.com subscribers. But I definitely, as this Discord grows, creating more and more value in it. I love to see, he made it happen, Hunter, guys like that. Our boy from Australia, Germs. There's so many guys that are jumping in here, making it more and more active. And the value is in the community, right? So you guys are in here thriving. And then I've been really, really big about the vibes, man. This is a high vibe community. I know that some of these gambling-based Discords can get very toxic. That's not the vibes here. So if you guys are just looking for a safe place, jump in here. Link in the description below. It's free. This one's free. Completely free. So, yeah. But anyway, we got to talk about some basketball here. Every day around 3 p.m., Jay Fan of Underdog NBA drops a key news to watch at 3 p.m. Eastern. Incredible job. First of all, LeBron James, Rogers' GOAT, is questionable. Zach LaVine questionable. Fred VanVleet questionable. Rudy Gobert plans to play. Larry Marketing questionable. Andrew Wiggins questionable. Remember Draymond back. Aaron Gordon questionable. Bojan Bogdanovic to be determined. Sounds like we learned that he didn't go through shoot around earlier, and that would certainly be a sniper that they would like to have in the mix in that game against Milwaukee. So we are caught up on the news here. Our boy Lorenzo says LeBron is the Dan Marino basketball, the greatest regular season player. So I don't think. So I saw you say that in the premium Discord earlier, Lorenzo. I don't think that's fair because I think that the thing with Marino is he never got the ring, right? Like,
yeah, LeBron is a 4-time champion. Like that's incredibly stupid comparison. One, and again, Dan Marino, football is a sport where there's so many moving parts. Like even to me, like you can make a case Dan Marino is better than a Tom Brady and Peyton Manning out way. I don't think so, but someone says that, I think that's fine because again, like you can only do so much football. You're only on one side of the ball. You can be the greatest quarterback of all time, but if you have a bad defense or a bad offensive line, nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it.
Renza?
Yeah, I just want to say,
God dang it.
I just want to say, Phil Jackson did say Scottie Pippen is a better overall player, better all-round player than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's a great scorer, but Scottie Pippen does everything else better than Michael Jordan. And this is from Phil Jackson.
The Clippers of Los Angeles are battling the Cavaliers of Cleveland, Ohio, today. And this is going to be our first taste of this slate. It's the only game at lock. And then we're chilling for 30 minutes. The Clippers project starting 5. Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Amir Coffey, Nick Batum, and Ivica Zubac taking on Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Larry Markin, and Dean Wade, Evan Mobley. 212 is our total 7.5 point spread in favor of the home team Cleveland Cavaliers. One of those spots where a team essentially narrows down how many people could potentially get minutes, and the Clippers have a very, very short bench tonight, so we're putting big minutes on their projected starters. Terrence Mann, I got him at 37 minutes. Zubac is somebody that's an uncomfortable projection at 30-plus minutes, but that's what I got right now. And then the bench becomes a little bit more sure with Isaiah Hartenstein and Brandon Boston, guys that are kind of leading the charge for me. The Cavs do have some notable cues to keep tabs of. It is just a 7.5 point spread, kind of close, but I guess the Clippers have been scrappy when you don't expect them to, and then get smoked when you do expect them to. But to throw a net over the Cavs news here, Rondo's going to be out. Karis LeVert, notable, is questionable. He's missed a little over 2 weeks with the right foot sprain. It's the first time that he's been listed as questionable. Sometimes guys go from O to a couple games with Q before they're in. LeVert's certainly been somebody that has spent a good deal on the out list here, so I don't expect him to be back right away, but he could be, so I don't want to immediately assume he's going to be out. Larry Markkinen, right ankle soreness. He didn't play that last game against the Bulls. We saw Kevin Love draw an opportunity for big minutes there, and then Dean Wade, right knee soreness. He's questionable. So there is several different scenarios and several different lineups that the Cavaliers could throw out here. What we do know, no Rondo, and probably most alluring, no Jared Allen. And the absence of Jared Allen has certainly boosted our interest and expectation on Evan Mobley, a double-double machine. But if Kevin Love's on the court, hey, that could eat away some of those rebounds from a prop betting standpoint. But I still have Mobley projected well. I got him at 43 Fanduel points and 40 DraftKings points. In the DraftKings price point, about $1,100 cheaper than the Fanduel price point. So if he does get you that double bonus and go from there, I do like that. And then the thought of Darius Garland at 8,500, if there's no Levert, certainly stands to reason he could be a big play. I got him well into the 40s in terms of fantasy point projections. Could knock on the door of 50. So I do like Garland and Mobley the most here. And then if news starts going the right way, i.e. a Markkanen out and perhaps a Dean Wade out, something like that, Kevin Love at sub 6K on FanDuel and about 6,600 on DK certainly has a chance to get us 30-plus fantasy points. So he would be in the pool. So very news-intensive situation is the Cavs team and my exposure to them. But the Clippers are wide open, and there is a bunch of spots on today's slate. The Thunder are still pretty short. There's a 240 total with the Spurs and the T-Wolves. There's a couple of really attackable spots that I wonder if the news of the day gets the Clippers maybe higher owned than they would be if this news was out 2 days ago and then we knew about the Thunder news. I'm a little bit curious. I do think that it's going to be hard to get away from these Clippers because of their prices individually. And this is one of those spots where the Cavs, they play slow pace and the defense is going to project above average. However, minutes just equal money. And we've seen all year long where if a team's going to give 35 to 40 minutes to a couple of guys, man, by hook or by crook, they'll probably get there. Luke Kennard stands out as a potentially massive play here, under 5K, 30-plus minutes for him. Amir Coffey, we've seen this guy play 40 minutes. Doesn't mean he does much with it, but we've seen it happen. Zubac and Terrence Mann, I think, are the guys with the two likeliest highest ceiling outcomes. So I think those are the guys I'm most interested in. But, Raj, what are you doing with this Clippers team? There's probably a landmine in here, but this is just probably the shortest bench on the night so far. For me, it's Terrence Mann, Zubac, and then everybody else I kind of have to regulate. But Luke Kennard's one of those guys that has a very disappointing floor, but his ceiling is 40 plus if his shot is as the kids say, wet.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, shortest bench in the on the slate today. Minutes equal monies. I think I'm just going to be kind of forced to play these guys. You mentioned Zubac should feast today, 6,800. No Jared Allen. Wouldn't be shocked with a 50 bomb from him. The Cleveland defense does take a step back without Jared Allen. So, I think the Clippers do have some hope. A guy like Amir Coffey, I mean, he had a run where he was putting, 30, 40-point fantasy points together consistently a couple weeks ago. So, and it was in a spot where they were kind of shorthanded injury-wise. So, past 2 games, 36 minutes apiece. No Reggie Jackson, still no Kawhi, no George. I mean, he's going to be a guy who's going to be out there. I think he can get you some points, stuff the statue a little bit. So I think he's going to be in the pool at 3,700. I just think the upside there at that price is just too significant to not play him. You mentioned Terrence Mann. I mean, I think he should kind of lead this team. If this game does stay close, I expect him to probably need 25 real life points, 7, 8 assists, play the Reggie Jackson role. So I like him. Luke Kennard could end up tracking 10 to 12 threes today. If he hits 6, 7 of them, we're in for a good night at 4,400. I think a lot of these guys are in play. Just a quick question, I don't know if you have it. What's Cleveland's kind of a defensive rating been with a guy like Jared Allen out?
I mean, it's still not a giant sample size, but Cavaliers' defensive rating without Jared Allen this season. 110.8. So versus their 107, it's definitely a little bit more susceptible. He represents a 7-footer with block potential, the rim protect a little bit more. So it does take a step backwards, but there's also maybe a flimsy level of sample size. So I wouldn't overreact to it. And it's the Clippers, but it has been worse, and that's reasonable to suspect it wouldn't be as strong. You're losing an interior defender.
Aren't a team you want to target necessarily, but like I said before, minutes equal money. You're just going to play these guys to rotate them in. I mean, do I end up with the lineup with 3 Clippers? Zubac, Terrence Mann, and Coffey. I mean, they're the world. I mean, if this game stays close, all those 3 guys get there.
I think you do. I think the field. I see. I'm expecting aggressive ownership on the entire Clippers organization. We've seen this, last couple of days. The Pelicans yesterday, a second opportunity where their bench is pretty short. So just the field is smart. The limited minutes on a team that's live for 100 real points. If the whole team's gonna be 5K or less, you got to go out there and get it. And
Marcus Morris, does he get the Evan Mobley treatment? I mean, that's the thing I worried about.
He gets the bench treatment because he's out. Welcome to the slate.
Not bad, yeah.
Bam. Worried about LeBron. Worried about LeBron coming here with this nonsense.
It looks like 3 Clippers in a lineup should be the play. And then bring it back with Evan Mobley. I know he kind of let us down last game, but he's still 7,700. He's been fine the past game before. 53, 55, 45, 32. Chicago was a down game. Now against the Clippers, I can see him dropping a 50 bomb again with no Allen. Going to play the minutes. Usage will be there. Markkanen is questionable, so if Markkanen sits, I think that's even a bigger bump for him. So play Evan Mobley, and Garland I think is interesting in tournaments. Karis LeVert is questionable. He's also 9K, so you have to pay up from him. There's a lot of studs today in amazing spots that we're going to get to. But I think in tournaments we're going to have those Clippers in our lineup. He's an interesting play.
Yeah, I think Garland certainly has 50-plus fantasy point potential tonight. I think there's a lot of 8, 9K, even 10K guys. We're going to talk about DeJounte, SGA, guys like that. Garland's right there, kind of in the mix. Maybe Garland's.
He can get lost because of that, right? Trae Young, SGA, DeJounte Murray are going to get a lot of ownership, and the Philly guys, Jokic. So I could see Garland being less than 6-7% owned. 5%er could win you something.
Yeah. Since the All-Star break, Garland without Jared Allen, 35.7% usage rate, a 40% assist rate, and over $1.25 fantasy point per minute potential. So yeah, if that game stays long enough, strong enough, you want to run back some of your Clippers shares, certainly makes sense that he could be the way to do it. But yeah, if I had to podium my Clippers here, I think Terrence Mann plays the most minutes on the team, so I want a piece of that. Also, Darius Garland, to his dismay, his discredit, I guess, he'll turn the ball over with the best of them. Cavs are second in the league in steals allowed per game. So a guy like Terrence Mann, who's averaging 0.7 steals in not 40 minutes and much less, certainly could be a big steal spot for him to juice up some of those plus threes on Fanduel and PrizePicks. So like the spot for the Clippers. I think it's going to be a trendy spot through and through. Yesterday, a team like the Pelicans, a team like the Hawks, I just had like spots where I was allowing up to 40% of a lot of players, and even a few guys I would just take the top off and get to 60-70%. It's just going to matter about the field ownership projections on these guys, and who I want to leverage and who I don't want to leverage. Like Nick Batum's going to be an interesting decision where he projects well. We know his floor can be, non-existent, and then also if this game did get out of control, he'd probably be the most likely to hit the bench first, right? Rest of these guys kind of younger, maybe Zubac to Hartenstein, something like that. But Batum for me certainly has that. What if Cleveland just goes, full on blowout mode? I think he'd be the most likely to get that vet treatment and get iced up here. So I'd be making some decisions like that. Chad is just pure ridiculous right now. Maybe if Raj gets this out of his system now, we won't have to listen to it later in the pre-log voice chat. So I guess that's good.
Guess what? It's Jalen Carter, baby. It's Jalen Carter. New Twitter handle, Jalen Carter 25. We gotta start plugging up.
I swear you have like a I don't know, video games they have like health meters. Sometimes the less fights you're in, your health just goes up after a while. For you, if you're gone for a week, you have this Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. So when you're here, it goes all the way down. And then, since you've been gone, it just comes back. What do you mean bring it to you? You started the show with the nonsense about LeBron from 2 games ago. Like, golly, bro. You completely...
Over the weekend. It happened over the weekend.
Okay.
So we got to start the new weekday.
All right.
I think in the chat, Nova Scotia mentioned Brandon Boston.
Mm-hmm. Will he see enough time? I mean, he's one of the few actives, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But at 3K, bare bones min price on both sides. Like he's probably worth a chip and a share if we really want to glue together some stud lineups. There's plenty of stud options on the slate. knock on
Oh, yeah.
wood. We'll talk about the Philly situation in a minute. But Jokic, Giannis, LeBron, Joel Embiid, Harden, DeJounte in the 240 total. SGA against the Hornets. Trae Young without Collins, without Gallo.
we already know Joel Embiid's going to get ruled out. He don't want the smoke with Jokic.
So that's part of the speculation, but it hasn't happened yet. And I don't know if the Philly home crowd can stand back-to-back embarrassments, So I don't know. We'll talk about that game in just a minute, though. But anyway, this is the only game in that first 30-minute block at lock here. So I do think the Clippers will garner a lot of ownership. They'll set a lot of tables, and then we'll go from there. Speaking of setting a lot of tables, why don't you guys set the table on that 120 like goal by looking down below this video, seeing that thumbs up button, clicking it. Hey, while you're looking in that area, why don't you go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and if you're not, hit that red subscribe button. Join the Noti squad, if you will, and be here every day. Every day, other than Sunday, we've been throwing out content, and there's going to be that. The lockout sucks, right? The delay sucked. But if there was not a week and a half delay on the MLB season, I was never going to sleep for a strong 2 weeks, man. I was going to have to do MLB content, NBA content. The PrizePicks probably going to have 2 shows. I got another deal in the probably announce it maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. There's just a lot, and then of course some spots else. So I'm almost happy and relieved that baseball got pushed back. But yeah, if you're into baseball DFS or you want to be into baseball DFS, man, we're gonna keep that going in just a couple weeks. So be sure to subscribe to the channel for all that daily content. Every time I look at chat, I'm scared. What up, Conscious? What up, Obi-Wan? Mike Knack out here says 5% Fox got me a little cheddar the other night. Yeah, Fox. So that was in the free Discord. I mentioned once Rudy Gobert got rolled out, we knew Conley was going to be out. That Jazz defensive efficiency certainly took a step backwards. And going Whiteside to Gobert is such a massive step backwards that I was like, all right, I think Fox's points without Sabonis is live. I think he if he didn't clear it in the first half, he dang near almost did. So that definitely was a great boost. And if you guys utilized late swap to do that, that was huge. I actually utilized late swap to get in a bunch of Hassan Whiteside. And I literally sat here, I tweaked all these things, blah, 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 late swap optimized, download CSV. I don't know what happened, but I never uploaded the CSV. So I looked up and I still had like 8 or 12% Rudy Gobert. I was like, what the F? My brain never went and uploaded the CSV. I downloaded it and never uploaded it. So shame on me, but it be like that sometimes. Was still able to make a decent bit of scratch that night thanks to Tyler Hero. That was a high-scoring slate. Crispy says, what is up with Reggie Jackson? In terms of why they're out, I don't know what the situation is. I guess I can go pull up the news and notes. Reggie. Yeah, I don't know. I just have everyone out, What up, Wayne's World? Let's get this PP money. Yes, sir. Baseball's a stack players game. Yeah, baseball's for tournaments. It's definitely stack centric because in baseball, when players score, it's usually very positively correlated within the team. So a 2-run homer, you got 2 guys on base. You're gonna get RBI credit. You can get runs credit. Those guys got on base somehow. So it is very positively correlated to stack, and that's really all I do. It's a very simplified process. The advanced metrics are certainly complicated, and the learning curve is big. But it's once you get it, you get it. Once you learn how to identify pitching, it becomes simple from there, and then you just understand the variances is whatever going forward. But yeah, I don't want to get lost on a baseball tangent because I'll go off forever, but I'm decent at it, right? Dang Lazy Mofo says, I'm tired of logging into DK and the MLB salary ain't out yet. I don't know. Man. There's still so much trade. This is so different than the usual, right? It's just like free agency is basically it started a couple days ago. So I guess they would just have to keep changing salaries. I guess they could post prize pools and what they want to do for opening day, but I don't know. I'm okay with them not posting salary yet.
Let me chat. I'll let you know. I'm more of a basketball savant. I blow Gun out of the water when it comes to basketball takes. But baseball, he's definitely the best in the business. I'll take Gun over anybody in the game in baseball.
This guy with his
Oh yeah.
Basketball. All right, let's move on to the next game. I appreciate that backhanded compliment, even though the first half was trash. Blazers at the Hawks. Project 35 for the Blazers. Brandon Williams, CJ Ellaby, Josh Hart, Trendon Watford, and Drew Eubanks taking out Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, Bogdanovich, maybe DeAndre Hunter, and Clint Capella. 230 is our total. Big total there. 13.5 points spread in favor of the home team, Atlanta Hawks. We got John Collins out. We got Danilo Gallinari out. We got 13.5 point spread. Blazers are not an actual basketball team, and then once we accept the fact that they're not a real team, Josh Hart will go out there and drop 80. So Josh Hart is probably him and Trendon Watford are the two guys I'd be most inclined to make a decision on whether or not I want to get to them and how much. I can still make a case for Brandon Williams at 5K on FanDuel. No warm and fuzzies, but I'm getting a solid projection there. Maybe 6,500 on DK, drops in a bucket here and there as long as the ownership is right. But for the most part, this is a pretty lopsided expectation, even though the Hawks are on night 2 of a back-to-back. And now we have to wrestle with, does a bottom 5 defense in all of basketball let this Blazers team stick around long enough, strong enough to get maximum fantasy points from a guy like Trae Young, who has the potential to be one of the highest scoring fantasy scorers on this slate from the Department of Redundancy department. We saw that yesterday. And then, of course, without John Collins, his potential, John Collins and Gallinari, his potential scoring could go up that much more. We know his assist rate goes up. Right now, as is, I got Trae Young as the 5th highest fantasy scorer on the slate, behind Jokic, Kat, Giannis, and LeBron. So standard deviation being what it is, he's about 5 points behind number 1 right now. So if he gets that plus 10 and plus 12, something like that, certainly could thrive. It's just a matter of what do we expect this game to be, your game script, your game theory. Mine, in terms of actionable clicks of what I'm putting out there on the field tonight versus or when lock hits, is really going to be leveraging the field's decision. And I don't think the field's going to be here as much because I think 10K, 9.8 on Trae Young, we're looking at DeJounte Murray, we're looking at SGA, right? We're looking at big upside guys. I think Trae Young can get lost in the sauce. So I don't think we have to sacrifice too much personal ownership equity to get exposure to that. And then guys like Bogdanovich, he has a chip at the chair for 30 fantasy points. And then Clint Capella. Capella was in horrendous foul trouble yesterday. They get 5 fouls in low 20 minutes, right? Yeah, 5 fouls in 22 minutes. So if he can not get into big foul trouble today, get closer to 28 minutes, 30 minutes without Collins, without Gallo, he has a potential to drop 40 plus fantasy points. Right now I've got Capella projected for 38. Certainly something I would take at both price points on FanDuel and DK. Raj does a bottom 5 defense in the Atlanta Hawks while also having one of the best offenses. Let essentially the worst defense, Blazers, stick around long enough, or is this a game that's over in the third quarter and we're just not going to need this game to take down tournaments?
I'm thinking we're probably not going to need this game to take down tournaments. I mean, Portland is shorthanded, but at Josh Hart's price, 8,800, it's just such a tough click. No, he's coming off a big game against Washington. If they have another big game against Atlanta, sure. It's just too many other guys in the 9K range that I really like. A guy like Brandon Williams, again, 6,500. Going to play the minutes. Should see 35 minutes against Trae Young. He has ceiling. We saw 50 and a floor of 15. That's what you're going to get with a guy like Brandon Williams. Mm-hmm. So at their prices, I'm not running to play any of these guys. Trae Young is interesting. No John Collins, no Gallinari. So I think he'll see a bit of he'll have to score just like he did last game, come off of 40, 47 real-life points. I can see another 40 real-life point from him again if his shot is falling. A guy like DeAndre Hunter, I think, is going to see a minutes bump and probably a usage bump with no Gallinari and no Collins. So I don't mind him as kind of a value piece at 4,600.
Yeah. Green Bay Packers beat writer Bill Huber just tweeted, "Big news coming in a moment," 5 minutes ago. So look out for that. I know we got some Packer fans. I know I saw Devontae Adams didn't want to play under a franchise tag, so I would imagine it's going to be Devontae related news. But we shall see. But yeah, I'm with you. I'll probably trust the projections on Watford, Hart, and Williams. It's coming out crazy. But I'm going to Bing Bong.
Fanduel super chatted $5. Want up gun? Do you have a beat on Garland's ownership, and what do you think of Harrell? Everyone drop a like. This man's doing the Lord's work.
I appreciate that, Cheyenne. So I typically don't look at ownerships until I've done the research first. It's kind of a backwards approach, but I don't want to develop negative connotations on a play specifically. So I don't have a bid on it. I don't think Garland's going to pick up much steam anyway. Just knowing what we know, Darius Garland on DraftKings is at 9K. So 9K essentially on these bigger slates, we're going to want north of 50 fantasy points just to be live in tournaments. And I don't know that people don't just use that 9K as a down payment on a brand new Steph Curry birthday game with Draymond back, Trae Young. The team's implied for a lot, but I think the most I would say, if I had to guess who the most sought after point guards are tonight, it's DeJounte Murray in a 240 total, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's just been dropping 60, and is up against the Hornets that we've been picking on all year. So that's what I'm just kind of expecting. So I haven't looked at ownership projections to verify that or validate that. But my guess is that the field is sharp enough that they're going to want DeJounte and SGA first, and if it costs them $1,500 over Darius Garland, yeah. Kenneth Woodhouse, I appreciate that sub, man. Welcome to the channel. And that was it, right? What do you think about Montrezl Harrell? I don't think so the matchup is pristine, right? But they do have Washington, McDaniels, Plumlee, and Harrell. There's a lot of people that could vulture each other minute-wise and ceiling-wise, despite it being a nutty matchup. So I probably don't get to any Harrell. Maybe I get to a little bit in 150 lineups, but I think he's a incredible per minute producer. I think the matchup is nutty, but as long as there's a little bit of a traffic jam in that Charlotte Hornets front court, you look at their most recent game, let's go up here. Most recent game against New Orleans Pelicans. This is a game where Charlotte had 142 points to divvy up. Plumlee saw 20 minutes. Montrezl Harrell 22 minutes. Jalen McDaniels 16 minutes, and then PJ Washington 24 minutes. There's just like so many mouths to feed in that front court that I don't trust Montrezl Harrell to get like a ridiculous minute projection to make him a priority. But if you get that feeling in your bad knee because it's the Oklahoma City Thunder and they just bleed fantasy points to opposing bigs, and maybe you think this game gets a little lopsided, it was a 10-point spread, yeah, it could bode well for Harrell. But I think at best he's probably a tournament-only option, and then you still need a lot to go your way for him to just be above and beyond anyone else in that area, right? On Fanduel for Harrell. Okay, so Harrell on Fanduel. Are you talking about Garland's ownership on Fanduel? Maybe it comes down a little. It comes a little higher because he's 8K, and you can get to some multi-position stuff with the shooting guard spot on guys like DeJounte. 4,600 for Harrell on Fanduel is pretty nice. I will say that. And this is a block-heavy matchup. So at 4,600, I'm a little bit more privy to that. So yeah, I play Harrell. I probably don't core him yet. Let me see. Let me look at my player projections for Fanduel and go from there. Nick says the Packers are expected to re-sign Devontae Cam. That's the news. That's the big news.
A letdown.
They re-signed Devondre Campbell. All right, well, a little bit of an okey doke, but I mean, good for them. Good for them. But I mean, it's just like when you say big news, like Rodgers already signed. It's the Devontaes who we're all thinking, right? So on Fanduel, if you're looking for a punt power forward, is Montrezl Harrell the best of the best of the best, sir? Let's take out everything but center power forward. And I have Hartenstein is a little bit more than Montrezl Harrell, Cheyenne. And I think if you split center minutes between him and Zubac, especially with the Clippers, a little bit flimsy in terms of does that game stay close, Hartenstein definitely has a shot to play the same, if not just a few more implied minutes, a little safer there. Watford and Eubanks project okay, but Watford is of course near 6K. And then how far down we go to Montrezl Harrell? So Montrezl Harrell is like inside the top 10 in terms of potential value in the early projections, but I think I would lean Hartenstein right now. I think this projection is a little bit busted, but I think Hartenstein makes more sense. But obviously, he's going to come with probably a significant ownership boost as well. So let's get all of the backup so those RunDFS.com VIPers can get back to their research and sort it by most. All right. But 11.6 on Fanduel for Garland ownership. Yeah, so sub 20% ownership on Garland. I certainly want a piece of that. And I only need 40-plus fantasy points to feel like I'm going to get a deal. The thing with Garland, I mentioned it earlier on the PrizePicks show, is the Cavs are second in turnover or steals per game allowed for a reason. And a lot of that is because Darius Garland can turn the ball over. And, we give Westbrook a lot of crap here, but 7 turnovers, 6. Remember, on FanDuel, that's -1, so we're walking backwards if he's gonna start with a -5 or a -6 implied fantasy point total and go from there. So it does come with a little bit of risk, but I definitely like his price point. It's 3 p.m. and I don't see a lock on PrizePicks yet. That's not good. So Wayne's, we did that PrizePicks show, and I will say this. And by the way, I guess it's we can do a PrizePicks plug here real quick. If you guys are out there and you're not on PrizePicks yet, man, they have been one of the better partners for this channel to work with, and they're a lot of fun. We actually, Raj, I don't know if you've seen it, but they sent me a mystery box.
Saw that video. Saw it.
I let my girlfriend open it. And then they've just been really, really great partners from a behind-the-scenes standpoint. So I can't, I really, dude, PrizePicks posted MLB futures. Oh my God, I might have to do a whole stream on that one. Let me get the crew together on that one. Anyway, if you guys are out there, you're not on PrizePicks, man. If you sign up using my code Gundacker, they help me out. They show me some love, but they also give you something in return. You double your first deposit up to $100. No slow drip, man. $100 becomes $200 of instant playable money. $20 becomes $40, and so on and so forth. On days that are not Friday happy hours, I think the min card bet is $5. So give yourself 4 or 5 cards to work with if you want to start with a $5 unit, maybe $20, $30 deposit, and kind of go from there. And yeah, we've got plenty of content right here on this channel to support that on the free side. And then, of course, as we get closer to lock every day, we got the ever updating projections in the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet. And yeah, looking at Raj. I think Raj is rage quitting. So anyway, let me look at the PrizePicks real quick since you asked about it. So some of the things that we were on that stood out on PrizePicks. First of all, Gary Trent was listed at 1.5 blocks and steals. Thought that was incredibly low for Gary Trent. So if we go pull up Gary Trent, he averages, I believe, over 2 steals per game. I think he's one of the league leaders in steals per game. He averages 1.8 steals per game. So he averages 2 stocks a game to begin with. You look at his game log lately, and keep an eye on that steals column. 2. Just felt like 1.5 steals and blocks for Gary Trent was a little bit low, especially when you think about Russell Westbrook on the other side there, and the fact that the Lakers can certainly turn the ball over quite a bit. So I did like that. Another thing that stood out versus my projections was Darius Baisley's fantasy points. We kind of wrapped a bow around him, or I did, selected him as one of my favorite options here. They got him at 29 fantasy points. Last night he dropped 48 in a tough Memphis front court. I currently have Baisley projected for like a ridiculous amount. Let me see what the official number is. I have Baisley at about 38, so I'm getting a 9-point difference between my projection and theirs. So I do like Darius Baisley. Lock's a strong word. Sabonis is expected to be back if he's not on any type of restriction. 39 fantasy points against the front court of Chicago, especially now that it's going to be more of a funnel defense with Dosunmu and Caruso to give Fox nightmares. I think 39 is a little too low against Chicago. And then, hey, if you're in the narratives, it's Steph Curry's birthday. He's got Draymond back. Could play about 20 minutes. Draymond definitely opens up the floor a little bit more. He can set up those shots for Steph and Klay. It's going to be a lot of fun to see those guys on the court together. But those are some that stood out to me. So locks may be a strong word, but those all seem pretty favorable from this far out. So if you guys want to tail those, hey, sign up using code Gundacker and get in the mix here. Get caught up on chat before we start breaking down Denver. Raj, you good? I looked over and you were like gone, and then you were Not?
Yeah, we bet.
Okay. Nova Scotia says, Raj didn't hate Brandon Boston. How does he compare to Okongwu at 34? I definitely go Okongwu like snap call, not even thinking about it, just because Okongwu should it probably splits the minutes there with Capella. I don't think that Gorgie Zhang would be a thing unless he absolutely has to be. Okongwu has to be. He might even just play more minutes than.
I might give a bump to Okongwu on a back-to-back for Capella. Even if Capella play, I could see Okongwu just playing.
Capella didn't play like an exorbitant amount of minutes yesterday. It's just if the game blows out, Okongwu's even if they play the same amount of minutes, Okongwu just projects as a stronger value. Brandon Boston is still a guard, right? So I almost always take center over guard if the minutes are going to be similar. So we take what we know, but I also assume that's going to come at much greater. I assume it's greater ownership on Okongwu than Boston, but I don't know that to be fact. What up, Craig? Says, what up, Gun? Raj just jumped on. Which OKC big would you attack the Hornets with? For me, is Darius Baisley. Dang Leesmo says, I'm just glad we're not on 6.6K subs anymore. Man, I don't know why we got stuck there for a couple days, but we are at 6,694. So we're getting closer. We're only a little over 300 from 7K. That'd be nice. Wayne's World said, Gun hit PrizePicks for 3,200 yesterday. God dang. Tatum 7 for 21. Capella foul trouble cost me from a monster day. Hey, man. Can't go broke making a profit. What else we got? What up, Josh? Hi, Gun. Just got here. Not baseball stream, but what do you think of the Yankees trade last night? Overall, my thoughts were what? Why? So I didn't think that we needed to improve third base. Obviously, we needed to fill that hole at shortstop. Isaiah Connor Falefa is something of a metrics, a daydream, and it also just kind of for him to be like on a 2-year deal. I guess that's their perfect stopgap for Volpe coming up. In a couple of years, he's supposed to be he's the top shortstop prospect in baseball, and I guess at best, I don't want any piece of Carlos Correa. It's just a personal thing. So I guess that makes me feel better about not getting Correa. But I just didn't think that Donaldson $50 million for 35 plus years. I thought that was
Correa,
weird.
no Freeman. Y'all went from Correa and Freeman to Donaldson. Come on now.
Where did Freeman go?
Not to the Yankees.
I mean, do you know that for sure? Has that been announced?
No, he's just not going to the Yankees after they got Donaldson money.
I don't know about that. Oh, wait. It says the Yankees did make an offer to Freeman, but based on geography, haven't seen confident, blah, blah, blah. No Freeman deal with the Dodgers, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, man. Don't sleep on Cashman. But so the thing is, the worst case scenario from what it seems like is Anthony Rizzo. Is that really that bad? No.
Yeah,
so I don't care.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
A good left-handed bat in that lineup. Yeah, Rizzo's not a bad bat.
Yeah, I don't mind that. So anyway, where's the other guy? More people are going to find out about y'all selfishly. I don't want anyone to find out about. Oh no, Charles, stop it, Charles. I see what you're saying though, but no. But yes, I liked Gio Urshela quite a bit, so I'm sad to see him go. I was a Gary guy, but he was definitely expendable. So I don't know. And Isaiah Connor Falefa did play catcher for Texas, so I don't know. And then I started having daydreams of them just robbing the A's of like Sean Murphy and Olsen, but clearly that's not the case here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But I don't think Cashman's done. I think Cashman likes to lurk in the shadows, and it all makes sense, hopefully, when it's all said and done. And we'll go from there. Michael Nax is okay to play Baisley and Roby together. I think so. I think the Thunder are short enough. We're going to get to that game and break that down in just a second. We're going to talk about the Nuggets and the 76ers first. It's our last game in the 7:30 block that we haven't covered. The Sixers, night 2 of a back-to-back. They went into extra innings, if you will. So look at this rotation yesterday for the Philadelphia 76ers. They played the Magic yesterday. Magic barely lost that one. I mean, the Sixers got out there with the skin of their teeth, and because of that, they played a lot of minutes on the first day of daylight savings, where you lose an hour, right? A little bit of a travel now on a back-to-back after putting 44 minutes on Maxey, 41 minutes on Embiid, 43 minutes on Tobias Harris, 44 minutes on James Harden. Now you're traveling to Philly, where Denver's, there. They might have the rest advantage, and we've seen them be cautious with Joel Embiid on back-to-backs following big-minute games. So there's definitely all the narrative you can ask for in this spot. The Sixers' last home game was a complete embarrassment against the Brooklyn Nets, and then we also have two of the favorites to win MVP potentially going at it. But I think a lot of people are kind of bracing themselves for Doc Rivers to say, "Oh, we're gonna give Embiid the night." You know what's gonna happen? Someone's gonna ask, "Hey Doc, is Joel playing tonight?" He's gonna say, "I don't know, maybe, probably, I don't know, maybe." Yeah. And there's just gonna be Doc Rivers reports where Embiid maybe plays tonight or something like that, and we're just like, "What does that mean?" And so we're waiting for him to warm up and stuff like that. So, yeah, a lot of in our head aluminum foil conspiracy theories to wrestle with here, assuming everyone's in. And I'll double check Underdog, make sure I'm not sleeping on any news since that. Assuming everyone's in, this projects to be a close game. The Sixers have definitely been very up and down, but putting some fatigue in the mix if all things are equal and we're getting a somewhat healthy Nuggets. They may be without Aaron Gordon and a mostly healthy Philadelphia 76ers. Danny Green likely sits this one out. It's a 224 total, and Philly's favored by 3. Joel Embiid versus Jokic. What do we do, Raj? What are we doing with this? Like,
I'm Team Jokic all day, every day, twice on Sundays. I think Embiid is going to sit. He has a history of sitting against Jokic, and on a back-to-back. So I wouldn't be shocked. I could see Harden playing.
The thing is, he didn't even come up questionable. They didn't he's just completely. Yeah. I don't know.
They don't want to let the Denver coaches know. They still want to kind of maybe have them prepare for him and then pull the old okey doke an hour before the game starts. But yeah. Just talking about this game though, I love Jokic in the spot. I think 12-4. I'm not worried about a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game. Let's say if Embiid does play, I think he has some extra motivation to show out. Should be able to do his thing. And he's a walking 80 bomb today. I'm talking 38 points, 40 points, 12 assists, 12 rebounds, couple block steals. Give me all the Jokic today. Should be the highest score on the slate. With all the value today, not going to be hard to fit in. So give me all the Jokic. And on the Philly side, I'm going Jokic over Embiid, so I probably won't get to a ton of Embiid here. I think Harden's interesting at 11K. Even though there's guys like DeJounte Murray, Shea, SGA, I think I like more in who are even slightly cheaper. So again, I probably won't get to James Harden just because of the other studs on the slate who are in good spots. But I think he's an okay play.
Harden's pretty cheap on Fanduel, 9,900. 40 plus minutes on a back-to-back. We've seen him do that plenty of times throughout his career. But yeah, it just feels like something's in the shadows here. I honestly have no idea what I expect to do with Jokic and Joel Embiid tonight. I could have as much as none, or as little as none, I guess you would say. Embiid hasn't played against Jokic since 2019, I think. I don't know, he's ducking. And Jokic is definitely got it live to lead the slate in fantasy points, but it's not necessarily just considering price. There's a lot of options on this slate at 10K-ish area where I think I could put just invest in like we mentioned DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray might really drop 70, 80 fantasy points tonight. Yeah. I'm not even being facetious.
That's Jay. I think Jay might drop 70.
Yeah, you might want to call the McDonald's manager and let him know that the Wi-Fi is maybe if he could turn the, you know what I mean? SJ and DeJounte Murray, the two guys that I think could be absolute slate breakers with their total today. So I'm on the fence about what the heck do I even do with Jokic and Embiid. I will say I'm more inclined to get to Jokic than Embiid, if for nothing else than just the fact that Embiid played 40 minutes yesterday, had to get on a plane, go to Philly, and all that stuff where I just feel like Jokic is a little bit fresher, and Jokic has just been really good lately. But at the same time, I don't think I'm locking that in here. So on the season, Jokic has been a little bit better at home for 3 or 4 implied fantasy points, something like that. But I don't know. I'm not from this far out. I feel like I'm gonna have more DeJounte, more SGA. If we lose Patrick Beverley, I might get into a little bit more of the big three from the T-Wolves because that's a 240 total. It's just nutty. I don't know. Chat, what are you guys doing with Embiid and Jokic? Assuming both guys play, do you have a strong lean? Do you have are you doing anything with him? Are you doing nothing with him? Are you definitely getting into Jokic? Certainly a spot where narrative could be meaningful just based on making that statement for the MVP campaign, right? If Jokic comes out here and drops a 30-point triple-double on Embiid's face, advantage Jokic, right? And then vice versa. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Chris Smith said they have Murray fantasy points at 51 on PrizePicks. DeJounte, yeah, I think that's about what we saw earlier. My projections aren't egregiously over that, but I still, like I said, I think considering the total, considering the T-Wolves been just absolutely running track meets out there, and if they're without Vanderbilt and they could be without Beverly, that's two of their better defenders that are plucked from the equation. So I don't know. I just have really high hopes and expectations for DeJounte and his ceiling tonight. So yeah, does Embiid want some Jokic smoke? He might. He sounds like R2D2. Yeah, Raj's Wi-Fi is I don't know. We bark at you for a while.
Clear?
It's fine now, but like at times okay. You have gotten choppy, and not only does it give us like that robotic matrix effect sometimes, but it also puts an input delay on your mic, so it looks like I'm watching Squid Game or something.
Gotcha.
Play
not appealing.
Embiid. Fade Embiid. All right. Axis says he's going to fade Embiid, while Des Morgan said Jokic is a top 3 play for me. I wouldn't disagree with either one of those, especially when it comes to projections. I have Jokic right up there with Giannis and LeBron. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It's just multiple ways to skin a cat. I'm curious to see how you guys are approaching Jokic here. And then if Embiid did get rolled out and we got DeAndre Jordan that starting lineup, I would imagine there'd be a massive swing in spread. All right, I would not expect the Sixers to be 3-point favorites. They probably could drop, that could be 6 to 8 points just swung just based on Embiid's impact in that front court. So something to keep an eye on. Check off both. Joker, SGA, Porzingis for you, David. Porzingis, you're doing that? All right. Porzingis has been really good per minute. I just worry about potential minutes limit. What up, Dave Kavetsky? Jokic will drop a 70 cheeseburger tonight. I'm with it. Cheeseburger. Ooh, I want a cheeseburger. Hornets at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Projects 35 for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, Mason Plumlee up against SGA. Theo Maledon. We pulled, on Friday, Raj, I don't even know, Stevie'sCardCave.com sent me a free box to open up. And on Friday, Danny opened up. Me and Josh watched it all live on stream. It's fun. They want to send us another one to do it, so chat, look out for that. But we pulled a Theo Maledon autograph. So maybe Theo has maybe he'll have a big game tonight, and we can sell high on the Maledon autograph.
Right? They're on eBay right now.
Trey Mann, Darius Baisley, Isaiah Roby to fill out that Thunder front court. It's a 231.5 total, a 10-point spread, leaving the door open. I mean, the Thunder are kind of been wrestling with spreads like this for weeks now, but the Thunder are also kind of like the Clippers, where they're pretty short. A lot of guys on the out list. Derek Favors out tonight. Aaron Wiggins is out. Josh Giddey, of course, continues to be out. Life without Lou Dort continues. If we look at what OKC has been offering up, and really look as recent as last night against a tougher Memphis Grizzlies team. Grizzlies got back Dylan Brooks, by the way. They hung around. They were fighting. And minute-wise,
SGA was carrying them. SGA was giving them the work. They were doubling him, and he was just crisscrossing them all. That dude is special.
Yeah. So anyway, much is going to be made of this Clippers 8-man rotation, but the Thunder are rocking an 8-man rotation themselves. And yeah, SGA has been out here playing like a 12K player, 60-plus fantasy points, as well within the realm of possibility. We've been targeting the Hornets all year. Why stop now when we have a ridiculous useless guy? I mean, I think I pulled this query on the PrizePicks show that we did before this one, and he had like a 1.6 per minute production rate since the All-Star break with Giddey out. So that's huge. I'll do it again here. By the way, NBA WoW via Add More Funds. You guys check that out. We should have the command still set up. I don't know if it still works, but I'll have to sweep back on that. But since the All-Star break, SGA is averaging 1.6 fantasy points per minute, 37% assist rate, 34% usage rate. That's what you want against the Charlotte Hornets. A huge spot for him. Certainly live to be the top scorer on the slate from a fantasy perspective. Now his price has caught up to him, and I've been a guy that suffered sticker shock on SGA myself, but this spot just makes so much sense for him to thrive here. So I do like that. I guess the main pushback I have here is, can the Hornets pull away? Well, the Hornets haven't been as dominant for last 10-15 games. No Gordon Hayward. They just haven't really been smoking teams, and that offensive efficiency hasn't been as wild as it was in the first half. So I could make a little bit more hope, and then at worst it's an 8-man rotation probably for the Thunder. So at what point would you pull the plug on SGA? So I like SGA quite a bit. And then I love Darius Baisley. I think Baisley might end up being one of my highest owned players on the entire slate. 54 on Fanduel, 53 on DraftKings. I could certainly see him pushing 40-plus fantasy points like he did yesterday, and yesterday was a much tougher matchup. So going to be leaning on the Thunder quite a bit. And then looking at their rotation from yesterday against the Grizzlies, Trey Mann played 35 minutes, no fouls. I don't know that he was super necessary when it was all said and done, but it is not apples to oranges in terms of defensive matchup. 28 fantasy points, nothing to shake a stick at. Double-digit shot attempts, 14 of them, half of them from behind the arc. So maybe somebody we do put in the pool. I do think he's priced appropriately on both sites. Maladon in the mix. I think Baisley, Roby, SGA are my favorite options here. And then if I landed into some Pokusevski because of his per minute production, I'm not hating life. What do we do with the Hornets, though, right? It's really easy to know which Thunder to play. The Hornets are so confusing to figure out pre-flop. We've discussed a few times that front court being pretty saturated. Just Bouknight and Hayward on the injury list here. So it really comes down to me game to game is Rozier, Bridges, and then I am a sucker for LaMelo game to game. And I haven't been super pleased with LaMelo's results, but those are the three names that are most curious to me. If you bought into a 10-point spread turning into a more lopsided game, maybe you make a case for Kelly Oubre. But what are you doing with the Hornets?
So yeah, when it comes to the Hornets side, I mean that's where you got to kind of figure. I think LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier are intriguing. I think any of those guys could go for 50 bombs.
Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, Cheyenne just gave me a heart attack. All right, go.
Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, so LaMelo Ball or Terry Rozier kind of priced down a little bit, 8,500, 8,100. I think both those guys have 50-point upside here. So I actually like both of them. Both could maybe even get there and get you high 40s at their prices. So I don't hate those guys. I mean, when it comes to other positions like PJ Washington, Harrell, I just think, the minutes aren't as comfortable. Plumlee's there. They're going to play kind of mid-20s. Probably not going to play the high 30s, so I just prefer the guys on the OKC side. My favorite build right now, just kind of casually hand-building lineups on DraftKings, is DeJounte Murray, SGA, fill it up, Baisley, and then fill it up with kind of the Clipper value. And even one of my favorite values with, hopefully I think goes overlooked if everyone just wants the Clippers value, Lindy Waters, third. 25, 28, 30 minutes for OKC the past couple of games. 11 shots, 12 shots, 11, 31, 20, 23 fantasy points. Against Charlotte, I think that could be a 30 bomb, if not more, at 3,400. So I like him as a value guy at 3,400. But other than that, yeah, it's just with OKC, play Baisley. I think Roby's intriguing too. Sometimes they can alternate having big games. So everyone's on Baisley today after his big game last game. I could see Roby having a big one. So don't just focus on Baisley. Get some Roby in there too. SGA, one of the best players on the slate. Going to have a ton of him. You just play him. Trey Mann's intriguing at 5,200. He might be the second leading guy, just not that reliable. Other than that, yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward here.
Now that my heart's back to normal. I thought we were breaking Freeman to the Yankee news or something, man. I was about to flip out. I think most of that makes sense. My boy Solid Pick says Raj has had 67 players and get you a 50 bomb tonight. That's the Raj.
Yeah, it's one of those slates. It's one of those slates with a lot of great plays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of studs, a lot of value.
Yeah, Theo Mellon, I'll give you 50. Give me some of that.
I say none of that. No, I ain't that crazy.
Chat. You know what is crazy? 200 plus viewers and only 61 likes, bro. Let's get those likes up, man. Get the jersey in the Raptors. Do I gotta mention the Hall of Fame? Do I gotta do it? Living in the Hall of Fame. Check this out. I don't think we're ever gonna break the concurrent viewership record this season for the NBA stream. But the like stuff, you guys could literally do that right now. The most likes in a live stream, 189. 190.
Everyone right now, just click the button. Everyone right now.
Just watch the wave of likes go from. That's what we should do, is a like wave one day. Just like tell everyone not to hit the like button, and then at a certain time, just see how fast it can go up. So get your chat jersey in the Raptors. Get that number retired. Get added to this right here, and this could say 190, 314, right? So yeah, no reason not to. Anyway. The Timberwolves play the San Antonio Spurs tonight. That game should be fun. We got a projected starting five for the Timberwolves. Patrick Beverley, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd taking on DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, Josh Richardson, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Am I not Poeltl enough for the Poeltl Club? 241 total. 4-point spread in favor of the visiting T-Wolves. The T-Wolves, they like to push the pace. If pushing P is still undefined, the P is for pace. I still haven't heard that song, by the way. I feel like I should. I know it was like a whole thing, but yeah. So I think this game's pretty juicy for everything. You know, surprise, at 240 total with the fastest team in basketball. Yeah, I want some of that. You know who I want? DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray absolutely has every potential to drop 60, 70 fantasy points tonight, so I'm in on that. We do get Langford and Dougie McBuckets out. Keita Bates-Diop out after really roasting my lineups the other night. I had a lot of him. So we get some decent minute projections on Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl, and considering the spot, a lot of potential upside of those guys individually as well, with DeJounte, of course, being my favorite option. And then Keldon Johnson has a case here. The T-Wolves, keep an eye on Patrick Beverley. He's got an ear issue. I don't know. It doesn't sound very good. If he doesn't play, D'Angelo Russell slots up to that point guard spot. Malik Beasley a little bit more. And then we know Jared Vanderbilt's out. And then we have some Q tags on McLaughlin in the arms of an angel. And then things shake up. But check out this, all right? You ready to check out this? If you guys want a lock on PrizePicks if Beverly's out, where do you think I'm going? Where do you think I'm going, Raj? What would be the lockiest lock that ever did lock if Patrick Beverley got ruled out? And it's still live now as is.
Patrick Is it D'Angelo Russell assist prop?
That's exactly what it is. Look at Raj getting one. Let's go, Raj. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell. And like I said, I think that's live no matter what, because his assist rate is pretty great. And, you know, Patrick Beverley just played 20 minutes and kind of whatever. But, yes, D'Angelo Russell assists would be something I love. Since the All-Star break, 34% assist rate as is. Matter of fact, how has it been with Beverley anyway? Just because I don't think the 7.5 and a 240 total is enough to not be live just anyway. It's 20. It drops to 22%, so it does dramatically drop off. But without Patrick Beverley, would just be massive for his assist prop potential. So if news starts coming out and we start thinking that Beverley's closer than out than in, this 7.5 assists is way too low. And then I did this example on the stream earlier. We're going to StatMuse. Watch this. D'Angelo Russell assists by game log without Patrick Beverley. Let's go last 15 games, Ross. Last 15 games. 7.5 is the number to beat. He has not cleared 7.5 twice. Every other spot 9+. We talked about this in the free Discord as well. There's a 5 and a 4. The 4 came in just 20 minutes against the Warriors, where he had 5 assists in those 20 minutes, so there's 16 minutes off the board. And then there's a 4 against Portland, which is an outlier. It just didn't happen. So yes, keep that in mind if you guys are looking for something to add to some PrizePicks tickets, or if that Beverly news did drop. I would probably take D-Russ at 8.5, even 9.5 because of the 240 total. So just wanted to put that out there. Keep an eye on it and put that in your back pocket. Raj, I think DeJounte Murray might be my favorite stud. I think SGA is right there with it, but the back-to-back factor might lean me a little bit more towards DeJounte, a little bit more towards this game being super fast-paced. DeJounte might be my guy. He's been my guy all year. Why leave him now? Yeah. What are you doing with this game?
I mean, I'm playing, but I think most of my lines will have DeJounte and Shea, together. So I like playing them both enough value today to do that comfortably, so I don't mind that. But you love DeJounte Murray, triple-double spot, 60, 70-point upside is still there. I think some of the other pieces are interesting, too. A guy like Lonnie Walker or Devin Vassell. I think one of those guys could go off. The price on Devin Vassell, not that appealing at 5,600, but if he gets you like a 35 to 40 bomb here, I wouldn't be shocked in this spot. Other than that, probably not getting to any other San Antonio guys. Portal at 7-3. I'm just going Zubac over Portal all day in this spot here. On the Minnesota side, I think D'Angelo Russell definitely has some upside here. Like I said, his assist percentage, 7,800, double-double bonus. He can get you a 50 bomb here. Definitely has a floor, in the mid-20s because he won't be as relied upon to do a lot with Anthony Edwards and Cat healthy. Mm-hmm. But I think at that price point, there's still some upside there.
He can get you a 50.
He can. It's one of those gates. I'm telling you, one of those slates. A lot of guys can get you 50. I can probably name you 20 guys that can get you 50 fantasy points today.
Just one of those days. All right, so let's go use the NBA Wowie tool here. Let's take off Beverly. I'm going to put on D-Russ, Cat, Anthony Edwards. Those are the big three that could vulture each other's ceiling and floors, but I don't believe in a 240 total. I'm not going to be without I'm not going to be without them. I'm getting a really nasty projection on Karl-Anthony Towns right now. Even nastier is Mr. Nasty Time at 9,500 on Fanduel, where we might be sweating Jokic or Embiid, red pill, blue pill, and this guy's in the back with a cheeseburger. Just I'm
at 10-2 though on DK. He might get lost in the sauce a little bit.
He might. I like the projection I have right now is pretty dumb. I'm gonna try and tighten screws a little bit, but hey, Jared Vanderbilt represents some rebounds, right? There's 24 minutes of a solid defender with some peripherals that you got to replace. So I don't think it's that crazy. I think for me the cause for concern, the caution is just because D-Russ, Edwards, and Cat all have ability to have individual spike games. So anyway, going back to that NBA Wowie query, let's take off Mr. Beverly and let's take off. I guess we could take off Vanderbilt just for the heck of it, and kind of go from there. What up, Keith Sill? What up, Des Morgan? Obi-Wan? Roll call on you, 50-point play. All right.
20 guys on the list.
So in this split, with Vanderbilt and Beverly off, there's only 139 minutes with D-Russ, Cat, and Edwards on. Cat leads the trio in usage, 32%, with a 1.38 fantasy point per minute production rate on Fanduel and PrizePicks and 1.4 on DK. So that's where that number's coming from, which is dang near 60. If I take Vanderbilt out of this specifically off number, Cat moves to beep, boop, boop, beep, down to a 1.36 to a 23%. So Vanderbilt being off, I guess, isn't that insignificant. I think a lot of it's just for the fact that Vanderbilt represents a 26% defensive rebound rate and a 12% offensive rebound rate. So it makes sense that a couple more fantasy points could land in the arms of Cat with a couple more errant rebounds going his way. And then, of course, taking out one of the better defensive pieces in the T-Will, especially in their front court. And then, like I said, if Beverly's out, this team that has been selling out for offense anyway loses that much more defense. So it's a really good spot through and through for the Spurs, in my opinion. What up, Teddy? Let's move on to the next game here. Warriors hosting the Wizards. Project starting fire for the Wizards: Raul Neto, KCP, Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma, and Kristaps Porzingis taking on Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, the return of Draymond Green, Kevin Looney. We got a 226 total, a 12-point spread in favor of the home team Golden State Warriors. Draymond expected to play around 20 minutes. Good news for them. Remember, before Draymond was down, this was the number one defense in basketball. We could get closer to that today, especially going against a Wizards team that has been struggling a little bit on the back end of this road trip, more so without Porzingis than with. And, hey, narratives for guys who like narratives. Steph Curry's birthday, Raj, and this is a fun spot to maybe birthday boy him into. We were talking about his 3-point prop on PrizePicks. I think it was only 3.5. 3.5. Draymond Green is a guy that has shown a propensity to space the floor, and actually a big assist guy, creates some shots here. So we haven't really had the mesh of Draymond, Clay, and Curry in a while. So maybe I'm a little too over narrative here, and I'm probably going to lean more so on Curry action on PrizePicks because, like I said, this 9 to 10K, DeJounte and SGA all day long for me. But anything from a DFS standpoint you like in this game, if I have none of this game, I don't think I lose sleep. Klay Thompson went absolutely ballistic against the Nuggets, and DraftKings immediately perhaps overcorrected his price to 7,800. Wiggins with Draymond, I just feel like everyone. There's no sneaky price here. Jordan Poole's been dropping 20 plus real points a game off the bench now. He's 7K on Fanduel. Like, there's no price that I think makes sense for me to click on today versus the rest of the slate, and the fact that Golden State probably amps up their defense, already a 12-point favorite at home. I'm staying away from this game for DFS. You might catch me with some PrizePicks exposure. What about you?
I mean, we're on the same boat here. 9-game slate. Let's make it an 8-game slate. Just cross them out. Draymond coming back. Golden State, when Draymond plays in the elite defense, so they're going to be a huge step up defensively. I don't think Washington's going to keep up with them. And again, the prices, I'm not paying 8,700 for Kuzma on today's slate. There's way too many other guys in that 9K range who just have plenty more upside. I guess Porzingis at 7-2 is just a very cheap price tag. He gets you 40, 45.
The thing with Porzingis though is you're accepting a glass ceiling in minutes, right?
Yeah,
you don't truly know what to expect him to play minutes wise. Obviously, he's wrapped in bubble wrap. 25, 26, 21 minutes in his 3 games with the Wizards.
Yeah.
Is there a case that it stretches? And to his credit, per minute he's been crushing it. So maybe I'm overthinking, but the overlap, if his limited minutes overlap a lot with the limited Draymond minutes, like, I'm really not that excited to pay 7K for what's probably a minutes restriction.
I hear you. I'm excited. This game is most likely a fade in deep field term. 150. You're running 150 lineups and you get to some Porzingis. I think it's fine. But again, I'm not getting to anybody in this game.
Yeah. Man. So you never seen the movie Johnny 5?
No, I'm Googling it right now.
It was like, so have you seen the Disney
Johnny
movie?
5.
The Disney movie Wall-E?
Yep.
It was
original Wall-E or something?
I mean, it was kind of like that, but it was way before Wall-E, and the thing talked.
Okay.
But I guess I probably remember it being better than it is, just because that's how we remember movies when we were a child. Blank Man, Johnny 5.
Short Circuit.
1986. This is about a robot that.
1986. Like, I mean, yeah. I don't think. I guess it has a cult following of some sort. I assume.
Yeah, but I mean, in its time, that was like, oh, cool. This could be the future.
Innovative.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
No,
Makes
whatever.
sense.
Anyway, all right, chat. Yeah, chat. I'm down on that game. I don't know if you guys have any sneaky leans, but I'm leaning more so just the PrizePicks angle, right? Short Circuit was the movie. Let's go. Yeah, we're starting to age some people in chat. Let's go. We've been talking about some of those old movies in the last couple of weeks that I kind of just want to go back, and I know. So I'm old, but my girlfriend is not. She actually turns 22 in like 2 weeks. So,
wait, that is 21. Whoa.
No. Is it 20? Maybe it's 23. She might be turning 23. I think it's 23.
Baby. Oh my gosh.
Oh God, I'm in trouble.
Bro,
she's playing her game.
Wildin'.
What do you mean? Crazy. What do you mean? What?
I don't know. That's so crazy.
She's old. Okay, maybe it's 23. I'm pretty sure it's 23, so it's not that bad. God dang it.
99, baby. That's so crazy.
Yes. Anyway, my point being, she probably didn't see a lot of those movies. So, I might have to Blank Man. Chat, you guys remember Blank Man? With oh my God, when I was a kid, felt like a good movie. So maybe I'll go back and make her watch that, the Johnny Fives, all that good stuff. I hear her talking, so she didn't catch that. Thank God. Forgot her age. I didn't forget her birthday. I forgot her age, but I forgot my age. Whatever. All right, short circuit. Yeah, short circuit was fun, man. Man, what old? Have you ever seen Beverly Hills Cop? This is old movies I remember watching as a kid that I thought were cool. Anyway,
Free Willy. I love Free Willy. Great movie. Chat wants to know how old are you, Gun? Chat wants to know how old you are.
how old is Gun?
Yep.
It's either 33 or 34. I forgot. I don't. I thought
forgot.
it's probably the latter, but yes, one of those two. Cocoon, Police Academy do play a lot of the Gun is like Hefner. Stop it. Anyway,
10-year gap, man. Gun living life here out here. You living. I thought I was at the club. It's like taught this like 22-year-old. I'm like, oh my god, you're a child. I'm 27.
what is Chicago Bulls at the Sacramento Kings? That game on the docket. Dear God, the project starting five for the Bulls: Ayu Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, Javonte Green.
25 roll the 25. The projected starting line.
What? Oh my God! DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic taking on De'Aaron Fox, Justin Holiday, Harrison Barnes, Trey Lyles, Domantas Sabonis. 236 total, 4-point spread in favor of the Chicago Bulls. Let it be known, I didn't pursue that. She pursued me. So F out of here with any of your insinuations there, buddy. I literally was like, hey, I'm old.
Don't worry,
Stop talking to me.
God is not R. Kelly. Don't worry, chat.
Yeah, okay. God dang it.
Hey, did you get Danny your Lunchable for lunch today or what?
You want to talk about mothers? Okay. Listen here, buddy.
It comes with a little Kit Kat on the side, cracker, cheese, little ham on top.
You done? Got any more?
Yeah, I'm good.
This guy. I can't believe he's stupid, man. You are stupid. God dang it.
Back in the day, those were popping too. Oh man.
You're lucky I'm live, because every joke that I want to say right now would just get me canceled and deleted.
It's like none of that.
I can't. 236 total, 4-point spread. Alex Caruso came back for the Bulls last game. Zach LaVine's questionable. LaVine did not play last couple games, so if he sits this one out again, we can boost usage expectations for DeRozan and Vucevic. Kings, of course, being one of the worst defenses in all of basketball. Do we have a lean on Zach LaVine right now? We have him listed as questionable left knee soreness, so maybe some news we don't know definitively until later in the night. And then if we... I guess if we play one of those, if he was out right now, how much DeRozan would we want against the Kings? Probably an aggressive amount. Same with Vucevic. Vucevic with DeRozan without LaVine has been like a 1.3 fantasy point per minute producer. So it would profile extremely well against that Kings front court at around 8K, 40, 50 plus fantasy points is definitely live. On the Kings side, with Caruso back, tandem that with Dosunmu, it does scrappy up that guard defense a little bit. And when they get Lonzo back, you might go look back at the first half and see how really good of a guard defense they had. So we might put a little bit more usage, a little bit more power on the front court here. And Sabonis coming back. He's 8,600 on FanDuel. That's a big spot. One of the Bulls' weakest points in terms of allowing fantasy points has been from the center spot. So Sabonis at 8,600 is going to look like a really strong play any which way you cut it, and especially that much more on the seesaw being tilted. Don't make a seesaw joke, you son of a... God dang it.
I wasn't even thinking of it. Okay. But now you put it up there.
Well, speaking of seesaws,
recess.
I should have never. I'm going to get all kinds of... Oh, is it nap time yet?
Cat's going.
I see chat just like going, and I'm just trying not to in my peripheral. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna stick to it.
Shout out like 305 JC. Get that fruit roll up pack.
Anyway, Rod's Sabonis 8,600 on FanDuel. I like that. 9,200. We talked about getting lost in it. God dang it! I just saw a super chat come through, and it's from Damron. I don't even want to. I'm not even gonna read it. I'm just gonna listen to it. I'm just going to listen to it. Wait for it to come in and listen to a robot destroy my relationship live on YouTube. You guys better be hitting that thumbs up. I mean, that's all I can say. If I'm going to go down in flames, I need... Okay.
Living the Dorman super chatted $4.99. Gonna have to go to her 10-year high school reunion here in about 7 more years. Go
You're out
Yankees.
here. Gun will be out there in the walking cane. Gun will be out there. Lower back problems. Struggling. Shoot, so you just missed a prom by a couple years. You could have taken her to prom like a couple years ago.
Oh my God! I bet. Are you people making jokes? You're just jealous. You know what I'm saying? You're just jealous. I'm out here. Thank God she's playing Fortnite or something, but which doesn't help the whole thing. But
Usually she's in the chat. You got her on timeout, Gun? You put her in detention? What is going on?
Raj, what do you know with the Kings and the Bulls? If you don't mind, give me some basketball analysis.
Well, the Kings, I got it. The Kings have a nice young core here, led by Fox and Sabonis, doing their thing. They are past 25, I believe. I really like the prices with Sabonis. He is, 9,200 again. One of those guys that might get a little lost. He's in that price there where he can get you 50. For guys like SGA, Trae Young, at 800 to 1,000 more, it just seem like they have a little more upside. So he's an interesting spot. I do like him. DeRozan though at 9,800. If Zach LaVine doesn't play, I mean, is he right up there with the SGA, with the DeJounte Murray? 9,800 against Sacramento? I think so. Caruso is one of the best values on the slate if Zach LaVine sits. So I like those two guys as well.
Josh says today has to break the likes record, right? Oh, man, you guys are still at 89, so yeah, if we made you smile, hit that likes because I'm probably about to get in trouble.
Yo, the eight
no,
like
Danny's
the
in
spread
chat.
greater than the Warriors spread. The A spread greater than the Warriors spread.
God dang it, bro. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's a good one. I mean, I'll take it. But Raj is just so lucky. Bing bong.
Raymond super chatted $2. Thoughts on Donovan Mitchell tonight?
Oh my God, a basketball question. Shout out to Teddy Wayman with the 2. Donovan Mitchell, yeah. So that game, I'll jump into that game. I like Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to paint a really pretty picture for him, but I do want to say that I'm going to be on my toes for late swap capabilities. If we lose Levine, I want a lot of DeRozan. I want Vucevic as well. I think both those guys could coexist at their price points. And then Sabonis is just really too cheap on Fanduel. So let's get to the Bucks and the Jazz game. Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bobby Portis, maybe. Brook Lopez looks like he's ready to go. Up against maybe Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. It's a 233 total. Milwaukee favored by 1. So moving pieces of information. I mentioned Brook Lopez could play here. He played like that first game, got hurt, and this could be his first game back. Don't know if he's going to start or come off the bench. On the Utah side, Bojan, I think we saw that he didn't go through shoot around earlier today. They've been a really strong home team, so I kind of want to give them the benefit of the doubt of keeping this game close. But here's what we want to watch. We're going to look at this team metrics chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. And 3 points via the 3-ball per game scored. The Utah Jazz pick up most of their points via the 3-ball. They score, or they're tied with the T-Wolves for most points via the 3-pointer per game. And of course, we know Milwaukee allows the most 3-pointers a game on the season. So it is a spot for some sharpshooters to step up. And if Bojan is out, if he's out, and we said he didn't go shoot around, definitely looks like a great spot for Donovan Mitchell to have to pick up a lot of slack at 8,200 on FanDuel, 8,900 on DraftKings, and his 3-point prop on PrizePicks was at 3.5. So all things, the planets aligning here. It's a great spot for Donovan Mitchell to maybe fall through the cracks because of some of the 9 to 10K guys in the guard spot. That Donovan Mitchell could have one of those 50 fantasy point games. So everything makes sense. I definitely like that 3-point prop even more if Bojan ends up not playing, and then you might see a lineup that sells out for offense a little bit more, including Jordan Clarkson, who coming off his best game off the bench all year, 40-plus real points. But Bojan represents 10, 9, 8, 18 threes a game, so he would be somebody I probably want to look at for those 3-point props as well if PrizePicks gives us a line here. But Mitchell's probably the next guy I want to target in terms of getting exposure to that. But if this game's going to stay competitive, the Jazz can score 116, 17, 18 points. I think Mitchell has to be a massive catalyst in getting that done, because you're not really going to score many other ways against the Bucks than that. So I love the thought of Mitchell's tournament upside today. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo, 1 point spread. Anytime you get Giannis into a 1 point spread, we were out here wrestling with Embiid versus Jokic. Giannis could be the most obvious click later tonight when he has 37, 38 minutes of game time logged, and could drop 70 plus fantasy points. So I like that. I like running Giannis at Mitchell. I might even correlate them like that in my player group. So stands out to me. Raj, what say you?
No, I mean, I agree with it. I mean, you have Donovan Mitchell going to carry the scoring load here. 89, 100 on DK. Another one of those guys, 50, 60-point upside. He can get you 35 real life points. Going to get you assists, rebounds, peripherals. One of those guys that's going to get it done like him. And Giannis, I mean, he could easily outscore Jokic or Embiid here. 12-2, you mentioned 1 point spread. Another guy with 70-point upside. One of those slates where there's so many studs and great spots. We have enough value. I think you can just kind of alternate them all in.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Travis Duarte says, how about Clarkson? Yeah, same. Yeah, Clarkson coming off that huge real point game. Maybe he's not priced for greatness. Remember that last game Mike Conley was out as well. Maybe Mike Conley steps up and chucks some threes here too. So, yeah. I'm scared to read half of the chat right now. So I'm going to have to read this. Let me talk on my guy. Let's go, Will. I love it.
Got some sponsors. Hey, shout out Josh Gillum. Hey, if I own 7 gas stations, you know how much money I'd be making?
Stop.
You know how much money I'd be making with 7 gas stations?
Today? Yeah. I mean,
I wish.
I saw something the other day that said I went to check the Kelly Blue Book value of my car, and one of the questions was, do I got gas, full tank or not?
Yep.
Are you would you like to flip off Raj? Yeah. Just for you would? Okay. There we go.
Yo, got it, guys. Daddy slid him the permission slip to go to a field trip.
I will actually kill you.
Sign the permission slip, gun. Let her go.
I will actually kill you.
She'll actually kill you.
I'm not afraid of prison.
Wow.
Oh, well, it's serious. Well, yo, you are. I mean, shoot, you might go to juvenile hall, right? Come on now.
Oh my god!
You know what? Wait till we get in voice chat, you son of. I'm unloading. I can't do it on stream, bro. I got sponsors and stuff.
I gotta make those prison visits at juvenile hall. Out there.
Okay, listen here, buddy. All right, Chad, we got one game left on the docket.
Love. Raj, I fucking hate you.
It's all love, man.
Okay. It's a family show.
Is it?
Right?
I actually don't know. I didn't.
Is it a family show?
Maybe. All right. What am I? I'm trying to do a plug. RunDFS.com. If you guys want to hear me go in on Raj, I'm definitely
betting on wide spreads here on RunDFS.com. Very wide spreads.
Go to RunDFS.com. Click VIP memberships. Find something that you like. Try out a week pass, man. All of our memberships come with a Fantasy Cruncher coupon you can use towards your subscription on Fantasy Cruncher. Then, of course, you get the link to the premium Discord. And every day before lock, for a couple hours, we're in that pre-lock voice chat, chopping it up. Today, we're going to be sweating a lot of baseball news, a lot of making fun of Raj.
Bro, Danny left real quick. She's like, I ain't old enough to be on this show. Come on now, she left real quick.
Raj just knows that I can't fire back right now. Like I want to mute him like it's around the horn or something. Just like,
shook.
I'm not shook. I promise you that. I got something for you, but I also got contracts and right? Sponsors that happen. You so right. All right. Anyway, the pre-log voice chat, I'll be in that in 20-30 minutes. So make sure you're in all that. Take advantage of that. Grab yourself a membership. Click VIP portal, and then get into that. And shout out to the chat. Jesse Noyes, Tone Low, Kay Johnson, Josh, Aaron Campbell says, how is Bucks defense versus the three? Clarkson. Bucks literally allow the most threes per game, Aaron. Thanks for the basketball. Thanks for the basketball. Don't forget to sign up for PrizePicks. Yeah, Travis, you tell him. Don't forget to use code GUNDACKER. God dang it. We've got fire back. Oh, I'm firing back. but I also like to make money.
Hit the chat. You got to make that money. You got to get Danny a 2-wheeler bicycle. She's still on training wheels. Got to train her. She got to learn to ride the bike, boys. He needs to get her new bicycle, a 2-wheeler. Make sure to get her helmet, gun. Make sure the helmet.
I have so many jokes. I just want you. I have so many jokes. This is not even fair. This is literally not fair. I would be schooling you right now if I didn't have standards and practices. The Raptors at the Lakers. All right. Project starting 5 for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Precious Achiuwa up against Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, and LeBron James. Some people's GOAT. A 225 total, 4.5 point spread in favor of the Toronto Raptors. This is your late night hammer. This game's 30 minutes after that Utah spot and the Sacramento spot. A little bit more West Coast today than we have been the last couple days. So if LeBron's Q tag turns into an O tag after last night, we can utilize late swap and have a little bit more viable range of outcomes in terms of where we put that money. Yeah, we can get into a Steph Curry, something like that. We can get into Sabonis. We're probably going to do some 2v2s. We can use that money going towards DeRozan if it also correlated with Levine, who's coming out the right way. So there's plenty of ways to go. In my first run projections, LeBron James actually led the entire slate in fantasy points. So I'm very, very interested in getting the highest fantasy point accruer on the slate. He's doing crazy things right now. Raj, what are you doing with the Raptors and the Lakers?
I mean, the Lakers keep getting destroyed by everyone else. Raptors with no Fred VanVleet here. I mean, I think it'd be a spot for a guy like Siakam. Gary Trent. Lakers are playing no defense, so I mean, I like those guys. I think LeBron again. Lakers need to win some games here. LeBron has owned the Raptors for basically his entire career. I mean, I could see a vintage LeBron. What am I talking vintage? A game just like 2 games ago. I could see another 50 piece from LeBron James, 50 real life points from LeBron James again to try to win this game. So I think LeBron probably going to go overlooked in terms of studs. I think people are going to have more Jokic, more Giannis, more Jante, more SGA. I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron gives you a 70-point fantasy game here.
It's going to be biblical, sustaining lazy mofos. I don't know. It might be racial. Might need to get into
I'm with all the racist jokes. I'm with all the racist jokes. I'm chilling too. I'm with all of that.
Can't do it. I can't do it. Silky Johnson. So we'll see Coach on here tomorrow, says Nova. Coach is still for Saturday. Raj got this one coming though. Renza says can't listen to that man. He don't even root for his home teams. Yeah, Chad, if you don't know, this man got a custom Raptors jersey with LeBronto on the back. Bruh.
I mean, like I said, with LeBron the GOAT and the Raptors are your team.
I mean, that's just LeBronto. 98 likes, chat. We got enough likes out there to get to 120, maybe. We definitely get to the triple digits. Hit them thumbs up. If VanVleet's Q tag turns into an O tag, I'm certainly interested in a couple of these spots. I do want to mention, shout out to Johnson that we did the PrizePicks show earlier. Gary Trent Jr. I think he had a blocks and steals line. He did. He's at 1.5 blocks and steals. So Gary Trent Jr. is one of the league leaders in steals. He's averaging 1.8 steals per game, 0.3 blocks per game, so over 2 stocks per game. It's Russell Westbrook. We know he'll turn the ball over, and we know the Lakers will also allow an elevated amount of steals per game. If we look at that team metrics chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet and go to steals per game allowed, the Lakers allow the 3rd most steals per game in the league, behind Cleveland, behind Houston. So 1.5 blocks and steals on Gary Trent certainly looks like a beatable line, something to take advantage of, and that's kind of true for the entire Raptors team, right? VanVleet 1.6 steals per game, Barnes, Siakam, but Gary Trent's actually being listed as something that I'm kind of cool with. So yeah. Let's get Jack says this guy Raj is done. Yeah, Raj gonna get it. He gonna get it.
Shout out Damron. So I know Gunn doesn't watch a lot of Lakers games. It's not too late. You got to put Danny to bed before watching the game. Come on now. What's the bedtime? 9:30? 8:45?
Oh, you want? See, I can't even. I'll put her to bed. All right. God dang it, dude.
Okay, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
God dang it.
With a juice box.
See, I literally can't fire back any. I can't even make like a your mama joke right now. Like that's how strapped I am. Once you start signing endorsement deals, folks,
right.
you gotta clean it up. But it's coming. Scotty Barnes, lock of night. Van Vliet is out. Yeah, solid. I don't know that we would have that news with any type of time like now, but later on tonight, yeah. If Van Vliet was rolled out and you wanted to late swap into some Barnes, some Gary Trent guys like that, certainly make a lot of sense. Siakam's per minute production exponentially rises as well, so makes a lot of sense. Lorenzo says, "Dang, Raj, where you get that jersey? The corner market? Yo, maybe what I gotta do?
NBA.com, baby. NBA.com.
Maybe I gotta let Damron and Lorenzo on the show once,
do it up, man.
and they can handle my lightweight. You know what I mean?
Damron's on with me. Damron's team meet right now. It's Jalen Carter and Damron.
You happy about that, Damron? You're my Arkansas hunting buddy is he's got Raj in his corner right now.
Yes,
that's what life is for you, okay?
Bringing two worlds together.
Hey guys, I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/gundacker. If you guys want to follow me, we hit over 3K. We're moving the needle on that. We are trying to get to 7K subs right here on this YouTube channel. I think we lost subs today. Yeah. We literally lost 2 subscribers, so people ain't here for the.
My Twitter handle, Jalen Carter 25. Jalen Carter 25. And most of my followers are over the age of 25.
See, I was trying to get to a 25 joke before you, but I guess I can make fun of. Nah, I can't, bro. I can't. Anyway, any lasting questions, comments, concerns, chat about the slate? About the slate. About the slate. Let me know. If not, I'll get out of here. Tomorrow's a 4-gamer, so I got a couple of business stuff in the morning to take care of. So I think I'm gonna move the schedule around. So I think I'm gonna end up doing the DFS show first. Possibly, it's 4 games at 6 p.m. Possibly, maybe. I don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. But the gist of it is I only need an hour for each show, hopefully. So at worst, we'll probably expect a later start time. So even if I did the PrizePicks show first, it'd probably be at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then the DFS show 4 p.m. Eastern. But there's a chance that it could flip. I could do the DFS show at the normal time and then go PrizePicks since we have more time. But don't quote me on that. Rods, I don't even care if you're available tomorrow, but if some people cared.
I'm good for tomorrow. Yeah, Tuesday is good.
4-gamer. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I might have to get... I don't know. I'm gonna bring somebody on and just hide. I can't even say that word with you, but I will. Yeah, I know I might have to roast you from backup. Bros, get back to the show. Yeah, we're. I mean, conscious. That was the last game. Bring 2 worlds together, not LeBron and Toronto. He would never support the. Yeah, that's weird. Favorite 2 pay-ups on Fanduel. Nate, incredible question. So my favorite 2 plays today is probably going to be DeJounte Murray. And Darius Baisley, I could see myself having those 2 the most. In terms of just paying up on FanDuel, though, DeJounte Murray probably for sure up there. And then I guess Giannis. I know Jokic versus Embiid is fun, but if I can get 4 quarters of Giannis, I might.
The more I think about it now, like the likelihood of Giannis outscoring you, I think Giannis has the highest likelihood of being the highest score on the slate.
I have LeBron 1 right now, but yes, Giannis in a 4-quarter game, I can get behind that. Isn't LeBron to that rack of ribs? God dang it. Let me see if I find more DFS questions in chat here for you. No, we want Josh. You want Josh? So I mean, Josh is definitely on the PrizePicks show. I might have to 3-man it. Josh is a goody 2-shoe like me though. We're not gonna succumb to this immature nonsense that Raj is spewing.
Yep.
Lebrato sounds like a taco spot. God dang it. We've lost it. We full on lost it. All right, chat. I will be back tomorrow, though. If you're on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker. Raj may be disassociated with everything Gundacker Gaming in about...
Okay, fine. I'll send Danny a coupon for a Happy Meal from McDonald's. Make her feel better.
Hot take, Raj.
Hot take. The hot take today... let's do Amir Coffee, 40 fantasy points.
God, yeah, that's hot. That's dumb.
He had a run where he was given 35, 40 fantasy points just a couple weeks ago. And with all these guys out, I could really see him having a big one here.
Chat, that'll do it for me, man. I appreciate you spending some of my day with some of your day. I will be back tomorrow. I love you guys. Tell somebody you love them. Love you, Scott Hall. Hope everyone associated with Scott Hall gets that strength that they need to get through the day. It's going to be a tough night, but sports can be so beneficial in that regard, man. Toothpick for the outro. Good luck. God bless, and go win some money.
All right, see you in a little